So what are investors looking for when it comes to actually investing in a startup? So it depends on what stage the startup is. I'm guessing this video is being watched by more early stage founders who are looking to raise the pre-seed round or seed round. And honestly, when it comes to a seed round, or especially a pre-seed round or anything like that, VCs are really looking for a few things. One, they're looking for strong founders that they really believe can build a huge business. People they want to bet on, people they wish they were, they want to be around all the time, people that they just think are hugely high potential. And obviously that can be built in a bunch of different ways. If you have a reputation, if you worked in an industry and really succeeded there and you're starting something there, that can help. You just need to kind of get your first investment or get your first investor that really buys into your company to get the ball rolling. At that point, they have an incentive to help you meet more and more investors and for this to be a really successful fundraise. Don't shy away if you have tons of people not responding or rejecting you or you're having trouble getting started. Once the ball's rolling, it starts rolling faster. But honestly, it's not just that. It can also come down to the way you present yourself, the clarity at which you talk about your ideas and getting really crisp on them, coming across as a leader, I think is also very important. The other thing that I think VCs are really looking for at the seed stage is they're looking for a reason that this business could be huge. When you're a seed stage company, there's tons and tons of reasons that your startup's not going to work out. You're not going to become a huge company because that's just always the case when you're an early stage company. But what investors need to be convinced of is that this is a huge market, it's ripe for disruption, and if you execute really well as a company, it can become really huge. Investors don't want to invest in a company that could become medium-sized and might end up becoming small. They want to invest in a company that could be absolutely humongous, have a multi-billion or 10 billion or that kind of outcome, and we'll see where it ends up along the way. You really need to have a sort of unique insight or opportunity. You need to have an edge into that market or a wedge into that market that seems really, really compelling, or let's say focus on something that others just aren't focusing on, like, I don't know, trucking or, some major new technology that came out that people haven't figured out what to do with yet. And that's really, really important. And then lastly, just like clarity that this is a big problem that a lot of people would care about and like a top level problem for that audience. I always say this, but your customers, when you're going out to sell customers, don't want to buy something that's their third priority. They want to buy something that solves a P0 or P1 problem. So just high confidence that this is actually a big problem that a lot of companies are going to prioritize. So that's the deal for seed funding. But let's say you're a little bit further along and you actually, have a product that's delivering, you're actually starting to scale and grow your company and you're looking for more money to grow that faster. Well, that's where you kind of get into the like Series A sort of territory. At this point, investors are not looking for a good idea. They're looking for a proven idea. They're looking for proven product market fit, which means, you found a lot of customers already that have the same pain point, want a similar solution, and have proven that by buying it and actually adopting it, are successful, aren't churning. They want to see like actual proven PMF at this point. From a revenue standpoint, it does ultimately depend on the current market timing, the macro, economic environment, as well as the industry you're in and how hyped that is, frankly. Like if you're in a space like AI right now, these benchmarks could be lower, but you need somewhere between 1 and 5 million of kind of annual revenue if you're a SaaS business typically at this stage. Lastly, just like in the seed round, you need to prove that this can be a really huge business and that you have good plans and clarity as not just a founder that's going to come up with a good idea, but now starting to hit the more like business leader stage. You actually have clarity of what you're going to use this money for and how you're going to get your company to the next stage of business. Investors want to hear that more so. They want to hear that you've had not just good metrics, but also really good learnings from the seed stage onwards as you're getting these customers that tell you how you're going to scale the business from now to the next stage. You don't have to know all the answers. You can be upfront about what you know and what you don't know, but they really want to see that there's some plan of how to take it to the next step, not just the company's growing for some unpredictable reason and it might stop tomorrow. For series, B, C, D, whatever you want to call it, past then, the metrics and plans start to really matter more and more. The team you've built up and the management team, so the leaders you've attracted to the business and the orgs you've built, the talent you've hired, all those things start to matter more as the valuations get higher and you get to later stages. These need to double down on evaluating the business upside potential, right? Because you're already at a certain stage. So you need to know that at the valuation they're investing, there's the potential for this is to get a lot larger than that, multiples on top of that. So that sort of valuation math and making sure that's fair and correct becomes more important as you get to later stages of the business versus in earlier stages of the business where you're just trying to figure out if this will become something. But honestly, once you get to those stages, you're going to have advisors and investors and know people who can help you out. And last but not least, focus on your business. Focus on finding something that actually has product market fit, making a real business in the end of the day. Fundraising is an important lever for a company that wants to be a high growth VC-backed company, but don't just go, focus on raising money for the sake of it. Go out and focus on raising money when it's the right time, when it's strategic, when it's an unlock for growth and a lever for the business.